Ag Day Weather, brought to you by
One herbicide can't do it all. One herbicide portfolio can. BASF Advanced Weed Control for growers from BASF, the chemical company.
Welcome back to Ag Day, here with meteorologist Mike Hoffman. Mike, we had kind of a busy week last week. Lots of storms, lots of snow in places.
Right.
What about this week?
Well, for most of the Corn Belt, we're looking at pretty dry conditions, pretty calm conditions. Still a storm system off the southeast coast, and then we're going to start to see more and more activity out west, but that's going to take a little while to actually start affecting the plain states. So this could be a pretty long window for harvest in many parts of the Corn Belt. As you can see, high pressure from the central Great Lakes all the way down into northeast Texas, really dominating most of that area. Now, the storm system off the southeast coast, still kind of a little bit of the remnants of tropical system, and that will continue to produce some rain in parts of the Carolinas, Florida, southeastern Georgia. As you can see there, as that just kind of moves slowly toward the northeast. And then you can see the high pressure systems will just kind of stall out across this area. This front has very little moisture along it, because when you have a high pressure in East Texas all the way up to the Great Lakes, you really don't get much of a Gulf flow. It has to go all the way around the high. That takes a little while before you start to see moisture along that front. So you can see as we head through time and into tonight and on into Wednesday, you can see the high pressure from the northeast all the way into the southern plains. Moisture in the central and northern Rockies, but not lots of it quite yet. But you can see a developing area of low pressure coming into California, which is a little bit unusual. But you can see that's going to start to produce some rain, and that will eventually come east, and we'll see all of that start to move into the plains later in the week. But you can see the southeast is going to continue to be wet over the next couple of days. Here's the way things shape up over the past 24 hours precipitation. You can see a lot of it in the east, even some severe weather in parts of the northeast, mid-Atlantic. That will continue to move northeast, so a little more moisture in the northeast, obviously some more in the Carolinas, and we'll see some in the northwest. Some of that will be snow in the northwest as well. That'll come into some of the highest elevations of the northern Rockies, but we're not talking a whole lot, unlike last week when we ended the week with a whole bunch of snow in parts of the northern Rockies, even into the Dakotas, as we talked about. There's the high temperatures this afternoon, 70s for the middle of the country, not too bad, 50s and 60s northeast. Same thing in the northwest, although some areas in the higher elevations only in the 40s. Then you can see lots of 40s and 50s across the country for morning hours, and then as we head through tomorrow afternoon, you can see things are still on the mild side in the middle of the country. Here's the longer range. You can see the trough digging into the west, but kind of stalling out for a while, so it's not till Friday, Saturday where it really starts to come into the northern plains again and tries to move farther east. That's a look across the country. Now let's take a look at some local forecasts. First of all, for Pocatello, Idaho, today partly sunny and pleasant, high temperature of 63 degrees. San Antonio, Texas, sunny and beautiful, high of 86. And finally, London, Kentucky, plenty of sunshine and nice today, high temperature around 73.